Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video. And I'm gonna make this short because I don't even want to really talk about this movie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's gonna be. I'm just gonna say right here. People are gonna be upset what I'm about to say. This is my opinion. If you like this movie, that's great. Enjoy it as much as you want. Lovey-dovey it so much you up you woo. I don't care. Just have a good time. I don't care. I'm allowed to say I don't like this movie. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was excited for it. You can watch my reactions. I'm like, yeah, this one's gonna be good. This one's gonna be because I love the first Ant-Man movie. I don't care. The second one I really liked, but everything I've seen of this movie, I was like, all right, this is gonna be a good time. This is gonna be a good time. And then I heard it wasn't a good time. I'm like, all right. It's the worst. What do you mean it's the worst one? How could that possibly be? Kang's in it. Kang, he's the big one. He's the big guy. He's the next Thanos. That's what they keep saying. Besides letting it just happen, they keep saying he's the next Thanos. They gotta be telling the truth, right? All right, so I really don't want to talk about this movie. It's been a week and a half since it came out. Nobody cares what I think about it. I'm just gonna get right to it. It's gonna be a quick review. At least I hope so. Unless I really get into it. This movie is a pile. I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it, and I wanted to. Beginning of the movie was all right. You know, Ant-Man doing his thing. People call him Spider-Man. Okay, funny. But man, oh man, after that first 5 minutes, it goes downhill quick. And when they get into the quantum realm, I'm like, this is dumb shit city, and I'm okay with dumb shit. But it was boring as hell. I couldn't wait until it was over. And it takes so long until we get to Kang. Like, we see him in the beginning, and then we don't see him for another, like, 45 minutes. Maybe even close to an hour. And all the stuff in between is just so boring, and it sucks because I love Paul Rudd, and I really like these actors. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, and even Evangeline Lilly and Michael Douglas, and even the girl that plays Cassie, even though that character I rather not even talk about. I like her. She was in Freaky. She was great in Freaky. She was really good in that Pokemon movie. I mean, you know, she was as good as she needed to be for a Pokemon live action movie. But yeah, I just was not with anything in the first 45 to an hour of the movie, 45 minutes to an hour of the movie. I was so bored. Nothing was funny, which is not surprising at this point for the MCU. Nothing was funny. It took so long until I actually laughed. The first time I laughed in the movie was when they talked about holes. If you know what I'm talking about there, you saw the movie. There's a part where the Rick and Morty writer really likes to do Rick and Morty jokes, surprisingly. So he does a very Rick and Morty joke where a little tentacle blob guy talks about, you got holes. And that made me laugh. I don't know. That was like the one time I laughed, the first time I laughed. And then there was a couple jokes later on. I'm like, okay. But like, these MCU movies are now like comedies. They are. Like, a lot of them are. Like, a big thing about like a lot of the ones people love is the humor, and they're not funny anymore. So a big part of these movies is the comedy, and it completely fails. You know what else fails? The characterization. There's literally zero in this. Like, we don't even get to know Kang that much. We don't get to know anything new about Scott Lang. All we know is that people don't like him in his own family and his own like group of people because he doesn't want to. He's not doing enough now, even though he saved the world. He mentions that in the beginning, and everybody makes fun of him for it, which I'm like, fuck. You two motherfuckers, Michael Douglas. Oh, no, you three motherfuckers. You, Michael Douglas, Hope, and fucking Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Y'all were dusted at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. The only reason why y'all motherfuckers are back is because of me, Ant-Man. Okay? You can say what you will, but, Iron Man did the sacrifice. But the only reason why that fucking happens is because his ass came out and said, well, we could do time travel and shit. You know, I came back from the quantum realm and we do time travel. I guess it was really because of that rat. We should really thank that rat. But still, he's a big reason why. So, to suggest that, oh yeah, you talk about all the time, everybody else is doing actual work. Like, what the fuck you mean they're doing actual work? We haven't seen any of that. They seriously do the whole thing where, like, they say this character's doing awesome, like a lot of really good work, but they don't show any of it. They just say they do because the writing is hard. So they just say, Hope is doing really good things. Cassie's doing really good things. Of course they are. Of course they are. We didn't see any of that shit. We're supposed to belittle Ant-Man because he's not doing enough right now. He wrote a book. Wow, write a book. Yeah, like, I'll fucking write a book too, bitch. I'm fucking... Anyway, so beginning bad. The special effects in this movie, oh my god. I thought Thor looked pretty bad at times. Other times it looked pretty good. Black Panther had some bad special effects here and there. Definitely better than the first did I say Black Adam? I'm sorry, Black Panther? Whatever. They both came out very close. And Black Adam also had terrible special effects. Where was I? Oh, Black Panther, bad effects, whatever. It's just one of those things like you show a sci-fi world now after Avatar: The Way of Water, and it's just going to be night and day. Literally, Avatar was playing in the next theater, like the theater next to me. I could have went into that movie and been blown away. That movie had what, $250 million budget, $50 million more than this. I don't understand where the money went. First of all, Avatar 2 is an hour longer. It looks amazing. It does a great job of world building. The characters are more likable in Avatar 2. I didn't think I would ever say that about a fucking Avatar movie over an MCU movie, but there you go. Because the MCU used to have great characters, really likable characters of all different varieties too, not just white guys, which I know they like to bring up like, oh, all the white guys are likable ones. I really liked Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. I really like fucking Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda. Like there's some great character. Gamora I liked, Nebula I like. Like there's a lot of great female characters, and now all the female characters have to be assholes to people, and you're supposed to like them because of that. That's literally all that happens here. It's either that or they do literally nothing like Hope in this movie. It's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I know some people are going to say, well, it's the Wasp because Michelle Pfeiffer's character is so big in the movie. But no, there's no way. There's no way they actually meant it that way. I'm sure they'll come out and say it now, but I'm sure they didn't mean it that way. They meant it as, because look, she's right front and center with Ant-Man. She's supposed to be the co-star, and she's barely in the movie, and she does almost nothing when she's in the movie. She has no relation to the plot almost at all. If they edited her out of the movie, it wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't. And the special effects, let me go back to that. The special effects, holy fuck. For the most part, the special effects aren't, like, abysmal. Unless we talk about MODOK, which... I guess, to be fair, I did laugh at MODOK. Not any jokes he was saying, but I was laughing at how fucking disgusting those special effects were. But there's some special effects here and there that are okay. Like, I liked Veb, who's the little tentacle guy that talks about holes. I liked him. He looked cool. I liked the way he ran away and stuff. That was funny. That was another time I laughed, when you see him like running, and pretty much anything Veb related, I guess, was funny. And I really liked some of the scenery, just some, but I'm going to tell you right here, this legitimately has some of the worst green screen effects I've ever seen in my life. There's a scene with Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas, and Evangeline Lilly's characters, in front of a green screen. It was very, very obvious it was a green screen. I mean, all this is going to be green screen, but you can make it look good. You could, especially when you have a $200 million budget. And they are in front of a green screen. It's like a deserty environment, and it looked legitimately, and everybody's making this comparison, but it looked legitimately like Spy Kids 3D. I'm not kidding. Spy Kids 3D looked terrible for the time. Even for the time, it looked terrible because it was all set in a video game world, but still, it looked bad. The green screen looked awful. It looked like that. It looked terrible. And I know everybody's saying MODOK looked like George Lopez in one of the Spy Kids movies or something. Maybe Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I don't remember. But it is legitimately the worst green screen effect I've seen in the MCU, that's for sure, but one of the worst I've ever seen, period. It looks terrible. And there's a lot more than just that. There's a lot more, but that was the first time I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was so bad looking. $200 million? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? For real? Are you fucking kidding me? Good Lord. It looks so bad. It was actually offensive how bad it looked. So a lot of the special effects are not very good. Some of them are okay, but a lot of the green screen is terrible. MODOK looks absolutely abysmal. Everybody already talked about him. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy looking at MODOK in this movie because he looks fucking embarrassing. I was even with people that were talking about how fucking over the top ridiculous it is. And this is the same series where we just had the MCU, the Thor Love and Thunder shit where he's riding a broom and fucking a bunch of kids. We just had some ridiculous shit not too long ago. And this was too much. It looked terrible. Main problem is that they made him just a floating head. That was it. That's not what MODOK is. I already knew that. He looks terrible in the trailer, even though the quick glimpses you see of him. He looks terrible. But I was like, okay, I mean, that could be funny, I guess. And it is. So I guess I was right there. But they don't do almost anything with MODOK. And if you're a MODOK fan, you're like, oh boy, they're going to make him look horrifying. I guess they do, but not in the same way. Like, MODOK is actually a scary looking dude. Like, especially in the comics, like, he's just a floating head, but he looks horrifying. Like, you wouldn't laugh at him if you saw him. You'd be like, what the fuck? He looks like a nightmare. And here he looks like Corey Stoll, but CG and terrible looking. I feel bad for Corey Stoll. He's a really good actor, and he did not deserve this. What is with, like, bringing these older, more serious villains back and then making them a joke? Like, they did the same thing with fucking Tim Roth in She-Hulk. Like, what the fuck? He was like, he killed dogs and shit and murdered people, and he's like, it's a whatever. Oh, we're just gonna ignore that part. Fuck. I hate this show. I'm at the point where I just don't care. Guardians 3 looks like, I legitimately think that movie's gonna be great. I'm sure by the time it comes out, people will be like, oh, remember we said it looked great? You know, and then it ends up being shit. But like, I'm just like, I think I'm just done. Like, I'll watch the trailers. I'll be like, all right, if the trailers are good, I'll be like, yeah, cool. But like, I'm not looking forward to these movies anymore. Again, besides Guardians 3, I don't care. Like, maybe Secret Invasion, I have a feeling will probably be good. The first trailer for that was pretty good. Hopefully, and it doesn't look like it's gonna be like over the top goofy and shit. So, like, maybe that'll be the Andor of the series. That would be nice. Oh man, every Marvel show should be like Andor. That would be nice at this point because everything's too fucking goofy. I didn't like this movie at all. I guess I should talk about Kang. Kang is a very generic villain, but I think Jonathan Majors did a great job. Like, really explain to me why Kang is such a great villain in this movie. In the comic, I'm sure he's awesome. Explain it to me. I would love to hear, because what I saw was generic villain that would talk very quietly and then get angry. I'm Kang. He literally says that in the movie, which I was expecting it to make more sense in the movie because I saw that in a TV spot. Him saying I'm Kang. No, he just goes, "Oh, you think you can fuck with me? I'm Kang." I'm like, I don't know who you are, Kang the Conqueror. Like, if you read the comic, sure you know who he is, but in this movie you don't fucking know anything besides like he was kicked out and thrown in the quantum verse, and now he's upset. Quantum realm, whatever. Now he's upset and wants to get out. That's pretty much all you know. But Jonathan Majors is great. He really is. He's really good. And if there's more to his character in the future, then that will be the one thing I'll look forward to. Nothing else really, because I know the writers will fuck it up. This guy, Jeff Loveness, is writing the next Avengers movie, and of course Michael Waldron is doing fucking everything else. Get all these Rick and Morty guys out of here. Like, they can write a Rick and Morty episode for sure, for the most part at least. I don't know why in the fuck there's so many Rick and Morty writers in Marvel. Like, this would make more sense maybe 5-6 years ago when Rick and Morty was still extremely popular, like fucking really popular, and it still is popular. Don't get me wrong. But now all of a sudden, like, I don't understand. I don't understand why every movie's being written by it. The writing is terrible. It's not funny. You get the Rick and Morty people, and they can't make it funny. The special effects are getting worse and worse. The plots are getting more basic and more lame. The characters are getting less and less character-like. It's just bad. It's supposed to be a short review. Fuck it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Sorry. If you like it, great. Awesome. I was bored as fuck watching this movie. And I was thinking to myself before the movie came out that I'm like, oh, I probably have to watch this again because I think I have a friend that still wants to see it. But I'm like, no, I'm just going to tell him to watch him. So I ain't fucking watch this movie ever again. Never. Never again. I can't even imagine how bad this looked in IMAX, by the way. I almost wish I saw it in IMAX because, good lord, some of the effects. Also, they waste Bill Murray. What the fuck? And I want to get more into spoiler stuff. Like, certain characters are really annoying me. Cassie was really fucking annoying. She just screamed dad and also like acted like she was better than him because she was like helping homeless here and there. And again, something we never saw, we just heard about. And like, they made an adorable character from the first two movies who you really liked, and you liked seeing her with her dad. They recast her, of course, which is bullshit. I heard all about that. That fucking annoyed me. And then gave her nothing to do, just scream dad and berate him in the first 20 minutes. Also, she's like a genius. They don't explain. She's just a genius. Lastly, she's a genius. It's whatever. She's awesome. They don't explain why, but she's a genius. 5 years she makes a thing. They could do stuff in the quantum realm. She's a genius. Can you explain why? No. It's like, come on. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what to like. Michelle Pfeiffer's character. What's her name again? I don't fucking care. She's so stupid. She doesn't bring up the fact that she met Kang in the quantum verse and stuff. I keep calling it quantum verse, whatever. And like, if you just did, then people would understand. And then, of course, at one point she does explain it. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you explain it earlier? She also cheated on her husband, I guess, in the quantum realm. That's nice. And I know some people will be like, well, I mean, she didn't know she was gonna escape. Okay, but she knew her husband was still alive. Michael Douglas was still like, I remember Ant-Man 1 to see that flashback. And, like, she sacrificed herself, right? If I'm correct. And he was still alive, so she cheated on him just straight up with Bill Murray, which actually I don't see any problem with that. Actually, I take it back. Wasn't it just allegations against Bill Murray? Actually, just remembering. Anyway, all right, never mind. Anyway, so there we go. That's it. If I had to give it a score, I'd probably have to go like 4 out of 10. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing here. Like, I even want to almost say a 3 out of 10 because I was so fucking bored. But the movie is relatively short. I'll give it that. Well, for an MCU movie, most of them are 2.5 hours. This one was like not even 2 hours, I think. If you don't count credits, which are fucking 10 minutes of the movie, which I had to sit there for. Oh my god, the post-credit scene. Okay, no, let's talk about the mid-credit scene first. Embarrassing, straight up. I really like Jonathan Majors. I think he's a great actor, but that was embarrassing. That whole thing. I know it's straight from the comic. I don't give a fuck. It looks embarrassing. It looked awful, straight up, awful, absolutely awful. Don't care. Oh, but it's like I don't give a fuck. It looked terrible. I don't care. I don't fucking care. If it looked bad, I'm sorry. That's my opinion. It looked bad. The post-credit scene, I don't like Loki season 1. I think it has shit writing. There's moments here and there. I like the old Loki, Richard E. Grant. I thought he was great. Crocodile Loki's fun, I guess. And even there's a couple moments here and there. I'm like, okay, I like Owen Wilson's character. That was, whatever. But I don't understand any like for Sylvie. I think Sylvie is a fucking lame character that has no characterization whatsoever. She's angry. That's her characterization. Don't understand how anybody could think that that's a good character trait. Like, it's a fine character trait as long as there's other traits to that character. But she literally, oh god, talk about Loki makes me want to explode. She has literally no character besides that. She's angry. Okay, like, and also them torpedoing Loki's whole character by showing him the entirety of the MCU in 5 minutes, and he goes, and he goes, I'm a coward, or whatever he says. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Fuck off. Go to hell. It's like a comment. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. I hate that shit so much. The excuses people come up with, like, in the grand scheme of the entire fucking MCU, it does not make sense. He's been there since 2011, and now you're gonna just torpedo his fucking character, so you could prop up this other character that's supposed to be a Loki who doesn't like using the Loki name, who is just a fucking generic character. Also, he loves her and stuff. It's so fucking, and she's also better than him. Fuck it. It's so fucking stupid. God damn. Let me guess. Is this sexist? Because I don't like a female character. Guess what? I also don't like Loki in that show. So there you go. The actual Loki. I think he's fucking lame. Absolutely lame. He just becomes a puppy dog following Sylvie around all the time. So there you go. I would stop disliking some of these characters if they were fucking actual characters. If everybody just loves them because, I don't know, I cannot understand why anybody likes these characters anymore. Like Spider-Man was great. All the characters in No Way Home was great. I think Doctor Strange kind of got a little ruined, especially when we got to his movie, which completely torpedoed his character. But yeah, it's just a piece of shit. This movie's a piece of shit. I should probably go 3 out of 10, but I'll do 4 out of 10 because there's a couple of jokes that made me laugh. I thought Jonathan Majors was very good. I just noticed does this poster not have Kang on it at all? It's pretty small. Oh no, he's in the way background. I see you. I see him. All right. Yikes. MODOK. Look like an embarrassment. You know, I'll keep it at 4 out of 10 just because MODOK made me laugh a couple times. Also, his whole fucking change in his character was stupid. Cassie going, "Don't be a dick." He's like, "Oh," and he's like, "I'm not a dick anymore." Wow. That should be shown in film school on how not to do a character right there. He's a dick. He's evil. Oh, he wants to kill. He was a fucking asshole in the first Ant-Man movie. He was an asshole. He's an asshole. He should be more of an asshole now considering he's all fucked up and deformed. But no, he's just like, someone's like, "Don't be a dick." He's like, "I'm such a dick. I don't want to be a dick." What the fuck? Fuck this movie. 4 out of 10. 3 out of 10. I don't know. 4 out of 10. Fuck it.